Welcome to the AI for Oklahoma Classrooms podcast, a production of the Oklahoma State Department of Education's Office of AI and Digital Learning. I'm your host, Dr. Karen Leonard. I'm so glad you're here. We're starting this journey because we believe in the power of Oklahoma teachers. We know the passion you bring to your students, but we also know that Sunday night feeling, the mountain of grading, and the 3 different lesson plans you need for Monday morning. AI isn't here to replace the magic you bring to your classroom. It's here to be your ultimate teaching partner, helping you clear the busy work so you can get your weekends back and focus on what you love doing most, teaching. We've spent the last few episodes talking about the power of data and how to present our wins to school boards and stakeholders. But as we lead this charge, we have to be prepared for the pushback. Not everyone sees the digital intern the way we do yet. Some parents and administrators are naturally afraid of what AI means for student integrity and privacy. Today, I'm arming you with a cheat sheet for responding to that skepticism professionally. I want to help you move the conversation from fear to a shared focus on student success. In our last episode, we looked at how to visualize our classroom impact for the school board. We talked about turning raw data into compelling stories that prove our programs are working. But even with the best data, you're going to encounter the hard questions. Someone might ask, isn't this just letting the machine do the thinking? Or how do we know our kids aren't cheating? These aren't just hurdles. They are opportunities to demonstrate your role as the moral navigator of your classroom. Handling these questions with candor and expertise is how we build long-term instructional support. When you're faced with skepticism, your best tool is the head chef philosophy. This analogy helps people understand that while the AI, the intern, might be chopping the vegetables or prepping the sauce, you are the one who created the recipe, tastes the dish, and ensures that it's fit for the table. If a parent is worried about academic integrity, explain that we are moving students from passive users of AI to active editors. We are teaching them that their brain is the boss and that they must verify every pattern the AI suggests. By framing AI as a slightly incompetent intern that requires human oversight, you demystify the tech and reinforce the importance of the human teacher. So let's ground this head chef philosophy with a real-world scenario. Imagine a high school history class where students are tasked with writing a report on a major turning point in Oklahoma history. Let's just say the land run. A student might use AI to quickly generate a timeline of events or a list of key figures. That's the intern chopping the vegetables. But here's where the critical difference lies. Your assignment isn't to reproduce the information. It's to analyze its emotional and economic impact on a specific community. The final product requires a verification log, a new element that I'm introducing where students must list every AI-generated fact they use, cite the reliable source they consulted to confirm its accuracy, and most importantly, justify any changes or edits they made to the AI's output. This process transforms a passive recipient of information into an active critical editor. They learn to spot bias and superficiality, solidifying the idea that their brain is truly the boss. We must also be ready to discuss AI's impact on us, the educators. If we're being honest, many of our colleagues leave the profession not because they stopped loving teaching, but because of the paperwork burden. AI is the first technological tool in a long time that generally gives teachers back their most precious resource: time. Think about the difference between writing a detailed, standards-aligned grading rubric from scratch versus having an AI intern draft one in 10 seconds, which you then spend 2 minutes refining. That saved time isn't for surfing the internet. It's time you can use for small group mentoring, calling a struggling parent, or simply leaving school on time to recharge. When we talk to administrators, we need to frame AI not just as a tool for student learning, but as an essential strategy for professional sustainability, a key component in retaining the talented educators Oklahoma classrooms need. Now let's circle back to the institutional concerns, starting with privacy and the digital divide. For our administrators, the concern is often about safety and equity. This is where you lean on the work you've done in our previous episodes. Remind them of your strict no PII rule and your commitment to using closed models whenever possible to keep that school data in a digital vault. Regarding the digital divide, remind them that by teaching these skills in the classroom, we're ensuring all students, regardless of their home technology, have the opportunity to become AI literate. We are preventing a new achievement gap by making AI a tool for equity, not just for those who can afford it. For our rural educators, these hard questions often come from the heart of a tight-knit community. You aren't just an employee, you're a neighbor. Responding with professional transparency builds a safety guarantee that protects the school's reputation while allowing for innovation. When you explain that AI is actually helping you manage multiple preps so you can spend more time mentoring each individual student, the skepticism usually turns into appreciation. At the end of every episode, we end with the tomorrow morning test, one specific actionable AI win you can use in your classroom the very next day. I called this one the cheat sheet pocket guide. First, think of one question about AI that you are most afraid of being asked by a parent or an administrator. Open your favorite chatbot and type, "I'm an Oklahoma teacher. I'm using AI as a digital intern to help with lesson planning. How can I professionally explain to a skeptical parent that I am still the head chef who ensures all work is original and accurate?" Then, review the response. Pick the 2 strongest points and keep them in your professional narrative for the next time that question comes up. You'll find that being prepared for the hard questions makes you feel like a leader, not a target. Well, that's it for this episode. You're now ready to handle skepticism with the same professionalism you bring to your teaching. In our next episode, we'll take a look at the big picture with the Digital Divide 2.0, exploring strategies to ensure AI equity for every student in every corner of Oklahoma. Thank you for joining me for this episode of AI for Oklahoma Classrooms, brought to you by the OSDE's Office of AI and Digital Learning. If you found today's episode helpful, please share it with a colleague who could use a little more time back in their day. Remember this: AI lightens the load. You bring the heart, the expertise, and make the impact in your classroom. See you next time.